What's up, everyone? Today I wanted to talk about personal branding, social media, and transparency. For a while on the Emotion Machine, I didn't really have my face on the site. I didn't really talk too much about myself. I sort of gave very prescriptive advice and suggestions and detached advice. And I didn't often bring it into the context of my life, and I haven't really shared that much about myself on the Emotion Machine. But this is my 10th YouTube video, and I'm trying to put myself out there more. I'm trying to be more transparent as to who I am and my personality. And a lot of it is due to Gary Vaynerchuk and a lot of the ideas that he's been pushing for the future of entrepreneurship and online business. And I've been following him now for maybe only a half a year, but a lot of what he says helps reinforce my own convictions about how I want to run the Emotion Machine and how I want to turn it into a business, really. And I just recently picked up his book, The Thank You Economy, and it's an amazing book. I finished it in like a week, and it's one of the first books I've read in 2011, because I haven't really been trying to read much, but I'm really impressed with a lot of the ideas in this book, and Gary is a big advocate for personal branding and developing relationships with people, putting a face on your brand, and really using social media to do that on a scale that we've never been able to build relationships like that before. Because Twitter and Facebook, there's so much more connectivity with people around the world and so many more opportunities to build personal relationships and contact people and stay in touch with people, stay in touch with your clients or your customers if you're running a business, stay in touch with your followers if you have a blog or something. And let me share with you some excerpts in this that I saved that I want to share with you guys. And then I'll comment on those, because there's a lot of ideas in this book that I could really talk about forever. He talks about in this chapter how in early days of business, early days of capitalism, I suppose, early markets, there wasn't too many corporations. It was mom and pop businesses, and these businesses relied on befriending their customers and having face-to-face interaction and building relationships with them so that they come back to their store. And a lot of early business really thrived on these relationships, and as we got more corporate, consumers have sort of been depersonalized a little bit, and customers are kind of more seen as a number and not really a relationship. And Gary talks about how social media is really transforming this. And he says, "I believe that we are living through the early days of a dramatic cultural shift that is bringing us back full circle. And what the world we live and work in now operates in a way that is surprisingly similar to the one our great-grandparents knew. Social media has transformed our world into one great big small town, dominated, as all vibrant towns used to be, by the strength of relationships, the currency of caring, and the power of word of mouth. In order to succeed now and in the future, it's going to be imperative that we remember what worked in the past." And in this book, he's talking about how we should always show that we care and really go that extra mile to interact with customers and clients. A lot of it reminds me of the case studies done in the book Wired to Care, which is about how big of a role empathy plays in business. And just being more empathic to your customers, understanding their perspective, and using that understanding to meet their needs and to really adjust your business according to the needs of others, and not just maybe a balance sheet or numbers. Okay, so that was something I found really interesting, and he talks a lot about how social media is kind of becoming more important than search engines because there's no social context to a search engine. You know, you search something, you click on it, you get the information, but if someone recommends you something on Twitter or Facebook and you've already built a relationship with that person, you recognize their face, there's a stronger connection being built. And he gives a great example of this. He says, a few months ago I was at Best Buy and I watched as a teenager use his Facebook status to request recommendations on a Nintendo Wii game. He got feedback in real time and used it to decide what to buy. Recommendations and contextual social search are the future. Is it any wonder I'm not bullshit on search engine optimization's long-term potential? So, Gary's not really that fond of search engine optimization, and he even predicts in this book that in the future when we search something on Google, you're going to have people that you follow on Twitter or Facebook showing up at the top of the results. So if you search like Nintendo Wii game on Google, there's going to be a point in our history where a point coming up soon, I think within the next 5 years, he predicts that you're going to have like a Twitter feed come up, and if any of your friends tweeted about Nintendo Wii games, you're going to see that at the top of your search. So imagine how important it is now to start interacting with people on Twitter, interacting with people on Facebook, building relationships, really having a conversation and not just broadcasting, which a lot of search engine optimization is just kind of broadcasting and trying to get more eyeballs, but without the social context. And so that's something that, again, I think is a great example of how social media is changing the landscape of business. Let's see, what else do I have here? I don't know what I marked off on this page. Just bear with me. Let me see. I definitely had some other stuff I wanted to share. Damn it. Can't find. It's a really great book. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. I couldn't put it down when I first got it. Okay, this is touching on the aspect of broadcasting versus having a conversation with your customers. Let me start from this page. Okay, some article published in Ad Age called "Most Brands Still Irrelevant on Twitter. Marketers are certainly tweeting, but users are barely listening." And okay, I'm going to definitely rant about this after I read this. The article actually explains the problem. While marketers such as Dell, Comcast, Ford, and Starbucks have been, at times, clever participants on Twitter, the majority of marketers use it as a mini press release service. Only 12% of messages from marketers are directed at individual Twitter users, meaning marketers still see it as a broadcast medium rather than a conversational one. So you see, it's not that Twitter doesn't work, it's that most brands aren't using Twitter correctly. It's like saying that a trumpet is broken because the first 100 people who try to play it suck. You can't have a relationship with someone if you won't shut up and let him or her get a word in edgewise. Brands have to realize that it's not all about them. When they do nothing but push product, there's no reason for the consumer to say anything back. It's like that friend you have who always talks about herself and never asks how you're doing. Eventually, she gets tiresome and you lose interest in keeping up the friendship. Holy shit. So many people on Twitter are totally not using it correctly, and after reading this book, I've made a conscious effort to go through my followers, and if I don't see that @ sign, if I don't see you actually talking to people, I basically unfollow you, unless you're... I basically unfollow you. There's no exceptions. You have to be using Twitter, you have to be using Facebook to interact with people, and I've been making a conscious effort on Facebook and Twitter and other social media to try to respond back to anyone that shows an interest in what I do. And if someone shares a link, I try to say thank you, right? It's the thank you economy. The whole point is that businesses need to start listening to other people and showing appreciation for their customers. And we're going back to a word of mouth economy, and it's going to matter. The relationships you build in your business are going to matter a lot. And I'm glad that I've been using Twitter kind of correctly for at least a year now, and I feel that I've already built up some relationships that I'm really proud of, and cool people. And it's so much more than just trying to get sales or something. I don't even have a product out yet, but I plan on releasing something soon. But it's so important just to listen to people, just to know what they want. And I posted an article last week, and someone critiqued one of the things I put in the article, and I thought he had a good point, so I edited my post. And it just goes to show how listening to other people is also going to help for creating content and creating products, and adjusting yourself to what people think, and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just important stuff. And I've been using social media to create new blog posts, and I ask people questions, what do you want to know about this? And people will respond, I want to know this, this, and this. And then I'll try to write a post that meets those needs. And I've been also trying to engage people by posting polls on the Emotion Machine and on Facebook. I'm always asking questions, always responding to people, getting their thoughts. And I'm just really excited in general, because I think this book has really strengthened my convictions about how to run business, and how to be moral about it in a way, because I think that business has become sort of dehumanized over the years, and I think we're humanizing it again, and it's about relationships now. And that's why I've really been making this conscious effort. That's why I've been making these YouTube videos, because I want to put my face on the Emotion Machine. I want to put a face to my brand. I want you guys to know what this is about. I want to be transparent, and I don't want to be afraid to show myself, And I think that businesses that are hiding themselves today are becoming. I think consumers are becoming more sketchy or sketched out by businesses that aren't transparent, that are especially upcoming businesses, a lot of online businesses. They're very depersonalized. You can't find out a lot about the person, and I think that's really hurting businesses in the long term. So I don't know, maybe this is something that I'll rant more about in future videos. Actually, I'm positive that I will be talking about this in the future, because this is something that's been on my mind for a while: personal branding and building relationships, adding that emotional component to business again. And I don't know. So you know what? How about you check out this book, and I'm gonna leave a link to an Amazon affiliate. So maybe if you want to buy it through that, I can get a few cents, and I'd be appreciative. I don't know, but check it out either way. Honestly, check out your library. I know my local library just got it in, but I had to buy it because I've been such a fan of Vaynerchuk, and it's due to his own personal branding that I have that kind of connection with him, even though I've never really exchanged any tweets with him or anything. It's just because he's real, he's transparent, his face is all over his site, and I like him. That's it.